There's 531 days until the 2020 presidential election, and we've seen some Democratic candidates campaigning in Los Angeles recently. President Donald Trump is also on the stump. Yesterday in Montoursville, Pennsylvania, he called on his supporters to mobilize for his re-election bid, which will formally launch in June.
When you have the best employment numbers in history, when you have the best unemployment numbers in history, when you have the best economy probably that we've ever had, I don't know, how the hell do you lose this election, right?
The pool of candidates vying for the White House is growing steadily on the Democratic side, and our Itay joins us now with more. Good morning, Itay.
Good morning. By now you've heard of Pete Buttigieg. You may have even learned how to pronounce his name. You probably think he's the first openly gay candidate to run for president, and you'd be wrong. We found the person who actually holds that distinction right here in Southern California.
So here's some of my prized possessions here.
He worked as a GOP strategist for years, but these days Fred Karger is all in for Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
He's an outsider. He's very unique. He's so smart.
He thinks Buttigieg has what it takes to make it all the way to the White House. He's even agreed to co-host a big Hollywood fundraiser for the mayor next month. After all, he knows exactly how hard it really is.
I'm Fred Karger, and I'm the first openly gay candidate to run for president of the United States.
Back in 2012, he ran for the Republican nomination, and of the 11 candidates, he came in 9th. In the 8 years since his trailblazing campaign, same-sex marriage became legal, and Congress has seen a rainbow wave of LGBT lawmakers following the 2018 midterm elections, all paving the way for Mayor Pete.
I ran in the Republican primaries where my opponents were all against gay marriage.
When Karger ran in 2012, he couldn't get any serious coverage. Meanwhile, Mayor Pete is finding a very different reception.
He was everywhere. The darling of CNN. He went right on The View twice. I never was on CNN. It's important to remind people that there was an openly gay candidate 8 years ago.
The fact that few remember him as that first openly gay presidential candidate has put him on what he calls a correction binge. One person he doesn't have to remind is Pete Buttigieg, who's already shown his gratitude.
For Fred Karger, a trailblazer who made it a little easier for those who follow your path.
Between Mayor Pete and Fred Karger, the record, so to speak, has finally been set straight. And Karger will be hosting the big fundraiser for Mayor Pete at the Beverly Hills home of super producer Ryan Murphy and his husband David Miller on June 19th. Tickets for the event will set you back anywhere from $1,500 to about $2,800. So not too bad.
That's pretty cheap for a fundraiser, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially in this town, yeah.
So what else is Karger doing? I mean, yeah, he's co-hosting this event. I mean, I'm sure he probably really appreciated you shedding some light on him. What's he up to?
Yeah,
otherwise?
so he's retired from politics. He's now an activist. He's done some amazing work, and he's working on a book about his campaign and a TV series that would be the equivalent of the Scientology show that Leah Remini is doing, but on the Mormon Church. And of course, all this sort of reporting that's been done on Pete Buttigieg has raised his profile, so he's getting a lot of attention right now, which he's very happy about.
I liked what he said. You can tell how much has changed over the past many years. He says, I was never asked to see on CNN.
Or The View. The View.
Twice on The View.
Pete's on the View.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Itay.
Thanks, Itay.